All right, hello everyone. This is Josh, also known as Yashu. You just tuned into another episode of TLOY Talks. You can get this on all platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Buzzsprout, much more. Check the Patreon. You can get that like on the link in the bio. Different tiers for like different like forms of content, all that type of stuff too. So every time like you pay like a different tier too, like based on the pricing, you get like exclusive content, behind the scenes type stuff, like personal interactions and much more and all that. And yeah, definitely support like if you can. But I'm definitely gonna get it like started right here. So we have like one of the rising underground artists in the Toronto music scene right now. Born in Nassau, Bahamas, came to
Yeah.
Toronto in like 2018 and all that. Has been making waves throughout this year and last year too and all that. And like he's been releasing music. He just dropped like a new single lately called like Keeping It Real. We have
Yeah, keep
Deshaun
it.
in the building. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing all right, man. Like, when we like kind of like tapped into, like, I was just like reading like the DMs and everything like that, and then I had to definitely check out like the music and all that too. And like, I kind of like the style and sound that you're bringing in. Like, I know you're using like a lot of like good elements too. Like, you have like some dark stuff right there. You have some like SoundCloud like rap like with the trap stuff
Yeah.
too. So it's like a variation of like old and new and all that. And like it's like very like interesting to like hear. Like he had like songs like Get Him, Silence, TOTM, even the Recoup EP, which is like very dope. And then I think you dropped Still Recouped, which is like
Yeah.
another like dope.
It's a bonus song for the
Yeah,
EP.
yeah. Nah, it's like dope to hear, and like just like reading like the bio on Spotify, it's like very interesting to hear and all that. Like coming here from Bahamas, like we'll definitely like dive deep on that. But even growing up there, what was like the environment like for you growing up as a kid at the time? Was it like great or would it be different?
Um, Growing up in the Bahamas, it's great. I'm not gonna like down it, but it's not. If you're born there, you know that there's nothing really there to like. There's no opportunities there. That's why I moved to Canada. Like my mom tried to. When she moved to Canada, she brought me here to escape that reality, right? Because in Bahamas, it's either you're in prison or you're like dead, right? But it's a good place to be. It's like tourist wise, like it's beautiful, right? But it's not really too much down there. So I came to Canada, and yeah, there's my whole childhood in Bahamas. I I have music like relations. Like my uncle was a rapper. He did music. Like he was my first inspiration when it comes to music and stuff. But he has stopped. I don't know why he stopped. I don't know why he stopped, but that's how my come up was in Bahamas.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. And I mean, Bahamas, it's like kind of like the place for like tourism and like just like even with like the beach and like the nightlife and all that too. But like I know there's like a different side to like Bahamas from what it was like from the people who go here for like vacation versus like
Yeah.
the locals and all that too. So I guess is it kind of like a different reality, like seeing it from that end versus like seeing it from like the tourist side and all that?
It is a different reality because towards you don't really know what's going on there. You're just like you clear waters, you can see through the water and stuff, but you don't really know like what goes on in the Bahamas. Like it's not a bad place to live though. It's a really beautiful place, like good people, but just bad spirits. It's not there to be. So yeah.
Okay. And was it like kind of big for music back then at the time?
We had a few artists, but it wasn't big. It's getting big now. I'm seeing a lot of artists come from Bahamas, like even athletes. Like Bahamas is popping out now, right? So yeah, music wise, there was a good time for music. It's close to Jamaica too. Like Bahamas and Jamaica are this and this when it comes to music. So yeah,
Yeah,
I can say that.
I mean, Clay Thompson, I think it's like families from like Bahamas and
Yeah,
all that too.
he's
So
Bahamian.
yeah, and I mean, like Denzel Curry, he's also I think Bahamian as well too. I think a lot of like rappers from Florida, like I think they have like that whole Bahamian like culture and all that, and like there's like some people in Toronto as well too. So yeah,
Yeah,
and then I mean, you moved here May 17th, 2018, which not a lot of people like really put like the full like date on there too, but like you're like kind of like the first one to do that. So moving at that time, what was like that transition like from moving from like one country to another and just like adapting to the culture here?
yo, it didn't feel real. It still felt like I was living my normal life, but something felt like different. Because when I came here, I was like young. I was like 12, right? So I had time to like grow up. So this is what I tell people. I had time to live two different like realities. Like I lived life down there and I lived life here, right? So it's like I combine both of them. Cause like I really see two sides of things sometimes. Like living in Bahamas, it was cool. But living in Canada, I think I grew a lot more than I would have if I lived back in Bahamas.
Okay. Because I mean, you came like at a very interesting time too, like especially with music, because it's like I know X was like at that peak at that time too, and
Yeah.
then passed away, and then I mean like a lot of like different stuff too. Like I mean, Cardi B like dropped her album, like a lot of like the whole like SoundCloud stuff was like kind of like out of just too because Juice World like dropped his album, like Skies dropped his thing and all that too, and like I think like it even led to like a lot of like other artists like Young Boy, Polo G, and all that too.
Hmm.
So how was like seeing that rise like in music like when you moved in there?
When I moved, the first like when I moved to Canada, I was heavy on a Kodak. I was heavy on Kodak, right? But when I moved to Canada, I got like exposed to more stuff like X. I found out about X in like 8th grade, and like the day after he died. That's crazy. That was crazy. But yeah, I was heavy on the like trippy red waves and stuff. I was tapped in with that.
Okay. And I mean, initially, like, you know, even before like moving there, like what was like your first introduction to music and like who were like some artists or sounds like you kind of like listened to like way before like the whole Kodak stuff?
Before, I used to listen to everything. Like I used to listen to reggae music, not even like trap. Like I used to listen to Bob Marley, like on a good day. Not even like trap, because I just like hearing music that makes me feel good, right? Like even since I was like 5, I always been like dancing. I could play multiple instruments. Nobody knows these things. Like I could play the drums. I could play piano. I blow what's it called, clarinet. I do everything. Not everything, but like a lot. But yeah.
Okay, no, and I'm guessing like even like when you're like rapping and making music, like how did you like get into that too? Was it like something that came like when you like came to Toronto, or like was it something that you like kind of
Um
did like way before?
um it just happened randomly. It happened when I was in 9th grade, to be honest. Cause I was before I was rapping, I played basketball, right? I was a hooper. But COVID had happened and everything got shut down. So I picked up, I had a laptop and I had headphones, like my gaming headset.
Okay,
So I just tried it and I just like liked it.
okay. And like I know you talked about like your uncle, your uncle like trying to like rap and all that, and then I guess like he kind of stopped too. But did you had like any other family that kind of like didn't like music at the time?
My mom used to try to rap, but she didn't take it serious. She just like rap because she likes music too, right?
Okay,
But yeah, nobody else besides her.
okay. So I'm guessing like you're like the only person that kind of like does like this music like full on like long
Yeah.
term and all that. So what inspired you to do this and like take it seriously?
Um, what inspired me to take it seriously is like the engagement. Like when I first started, I started for fun, but people like enjoyed it and like it made me feel good. Like it made me feel something like I never felt. Like actually made me feel appreciated. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I kept pushing. To be honest,
Okay, and as far as like you know artists who you want to like work with, like do you have any artists that you want to like work with someday?
like mainstream or like Toronto.
Anything you know?
Oh, I have a few. There's this underground rapper named The Presence. Oh my God. The Presence is tough. Who else? I would want to make a song with 10K Moss. He's tough. Him and Wavy Jackson, I want to make a song with
Okay.
them. Hmm.
I definitely see you with this other artist like I've been like listening to lately, High Key. Like he just like dropped 2 songs. He worked with like C Road like a lot too. Like I do definitely see you and him, like you and him like working on a song together too. I don't know if you know like Keruze. Like I think
Kato
like
Zai, I texted him. Like, we were supposed to link up in the summertime. I texted him, but, you know, yeah.
And I made a even dive deep like on this too. So like I think 2 of the co-signs you received were from an artist named Smallzx and then
Smalls.
Lil Grayski. So how did you manage to like tap in with them and like even with their sound and all that?
Okay, the Smalls. I have this producer friend named Zion, right? Like we went to high school together, and he knew I was rapping, and he low key does Zion does sports and stuff, but he produces beats on the low, and he makes music. So I hopped on one of Zion's beats and I tagged him in a story, and then Smalls was Zion's like friend, and he found it, and he followed me. He was like, "Yo, da da da, let's tap in." So we made a few songs. Like months go by, right? He's like, "Oh, you're tough as hell. Like we mess with your music. We want you." I'm stuttering. I'm sorry. You want to be a part of this group? And I was like, "Okay, yeah." And then we found a group called NSR, which means Northside Royalty. It's me and like 4 other people, and we just do music. Right now, I'm the only one like making music because everybody's like taking a break. But yeah, I'm putting us on the map. But Lil Grayski, I don't even know how that happened. Like me and Grayski, when we first met, it was funny. Like it was like an awkward ass. I'm sorry, my language. It was awkward ass interaction between me and him. But down the line, we just got close and close and close. Like he helped me get my first show. I tell everybody this. He helped me get to where I'm at. Like he brought me out my first show. Ever since then, I've been just like on my stuff.
Yeah. No, because like I know with the whole like Toronto underground stuff too, like especially like the niche underground, like I think a lot of people like support each other like a lot and all that, like go to shows and all that. Like,
Yeah.
my guy Toxic had a show back in like July, at this like venue at like Queen and like Gladstone and all that, and like I think a lot of people from like the underground like pulled up too, and that was a crazy experience because like Kato's I was there,
Mm.
I know Wish God was like kind of like there for a bit too, and like a whole lot of like other like people like around and all that, like people like selling like shirts, like design, like artwork and all that too, like hoodies, like hats, all that type of stuff too, and like it felt like some good vibes and all that too. Like I noticed like a lot of
Yeah.
people were connecting, like communicating and all that too, and like there were like a lot of like other festivals like in that scene that kind of pulled up to like Social Outcast, like they had like NASCAR Aloe, they along with like First Class Fest and everything else too, and like it seemed like everyone was like tapping in with like the underground at that time too. Like I even like pulled up to that first show. My guy animation like told me to like pull through, and
Mm.
it's like interesting to see like the connections, connectivity, and all that, and like seeing like how like the underground's like going far and all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, underground, it's bringing like stuff you mentioned. First Class Fest, it's bringing everybody together. Like it's like getting the Avengers and putting them all together. Like you be having some crazy lineups. Like yeah, these venues, Toronto, the underground's getting closer. Like I like it because
Yeah,
there's other music in Toronto. Like
yeah,
there's like not everybody wants to hear the. I'm not dissing, but not everybody wants to hear the bat. Like nobody,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
people. Yeah,
Yeah, I know. Even some success. I know, like he like focuses like Toronto a lot.
yeah.
Young Faisal because the whole like Shaq D's like co-sign too. Funny thing, some success actually shot one of his music videos at Young Dundas Square like last year and all that too.
Mm.
So, and that was like a crazy moment. Like pulled up there and like like linked up with the kids there. And it was a pretty interesting time too. Like they kind of showed support, like love and all that too. Like tapped in. Yeah, like 10K Moss was there, Wavy, Shaq Diesel. Kato, this guy named like Lum from like Windsor like pulled up too, and yeah, like everyone was like connecting either way, so but
Yeah.
like to even speak more on the state of the Toronto underground like music scene, like how do you feel about that right now, especially with like First Class, like DieselCon, Vampires Prom, and like social outcasts like
Shout,
taking over.
shout out Vampires Prom. That was my first show I ever got booked with. But I think the Toronto Underground's in a really good state right now. I think it's only gonna get better from here, unless some crazy thing happens like allegations and stuff like that. But Toronto Underground is in a really good, like there's every day there's a new rapper coming up from here. Like I didn't met so many people in my come up, and when I tell you they're tough, like it gets me excited to see what's gonna come.
So I know there's like even like small pages like quoted and like fuck the
Yeah.
numbers, and um I think also One Track Mind, like he shows like a lot of love too. Even who else? I know the T.TV like one like shows like some love to Toronto Top Six. So a
Yeah.
lot of them are like tapping with the sound and like seeing like what's going on and all that too. So
Yeah. I know Quoted. Me and Quoted go way back. way back.
yeah,
Way
no,
back.
exactly, man. And I mean, diverting back into like like the questions for a bit too. What's your creative process like when making music, and like what would like a day like in the studio be like for you?
There's not really a creative process. I just do what I do. Like I make myself like I make music that sounds good to me, right? So like honestly, I'll just sit there, I'll hear the beat, and I'll just start mumbling. I'll start humming. I'll be humming for like 20 minutes. And then that's when I click it. I'm like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Da, 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 da. That's how majority of my songs are made, to be honest. Like I don't write anything because I feel like preparing to make a song is just like it ruins the like fun of it to me. I feel like when you make music, this is my opinion. When you make music, you should have fun, right? But yeah, that's my opinion.
Okay, and I mean, do you mainly record at home or like are
Yeah, I only
you
record at home.
okay? So you've never like been to like the studio and all that.
Oh, I have, but it's a different element because you get nervous and stuff in front of other people. So I rather make music when I'm comfortable at. Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever felt like you wanted to like record just only with the engineer and all that, or just like the producer, or do you feel like at times like, it just has to be like yourself sometimes and all that?
I feel like it only has to be myself. I'm not gonna lie, I've never finished the full studio session. I always like left early because
Okay.
me, I have social anxiety. It's crazy because I perform and stuff, but nah, I have social anxiety. I'd rather be at home recording my stuff.
Okay. Okay. And I wanted to ask like how did you get like your stage name like Deshaun? Like I know it's like your actual like name in a sense too, but like just like incorporating the 5, 3, and 4 and all that. No.
Honestly, It was just been an Instagram name, but when I first started rapping, it's been my Instagram name. But I really sucked at like naming stuff, so I just kept the de534n because it's literally my name, and it's kind of cool because like it's kind of different, right? Like I don't see anybody spell their name with numbers, so I feel like if I'm gonna do this my way. To be honest.
Yeah, no, it's pretty smart, man. Like, no, it's very like interesting too because like I know like some people like wish God he'll have like an X, like for like the God and all that too. I know others like they'll have like two I's or like two E's, like all that type
Yeah,
of stuff too. Like 10K Moss, like you could have like just like put like 10,000 Moss and all that, but like 10K, it's like interesting, like Wavy
yeah,
Jackson, like with the X and all that too. So no, it
yeah.
is interesting in a way, I want to talk about like some of your stuff. So like I know you have like Keeping It Real, Get 'em, Silence, TOTM, and like the Recoup EP. So what inspired you to like work like on those like projects?
Just my love of music, to be honest. I like creating things. Like I make beats too. I just like creating things, and then the aftermath of just like hearing it, with hearing what you create, makes me feel good. Like Keeping It Real, I just dropped that. That open has been made since last year. I have a lot of music in my vault that I just be making stuff. But keep get 'em. That was my come out song. Like that was my pop out song. Like everybody knows that song. That everybody that knows me knows that song. That's how much I've been promoting it. But I know I just dropped like two songs, but the song that went crazy was Silence. Like that was the most love I have ever experienced from like dropping music. Silence has like 5K right now by itself.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting too. And like, I mean, you dropping like your first EP and all that too. So in terms of like just like releasing like longer form projects and all that, is there like something like in the works on that?
Yeah, I'm working. I'm looking January. I have something coming up. I've been teasing an EP for the longest, but it's coming in January. It's coming on my birthday actually. So that's what I'm just waiting on, to be honest. I got a couple of music videos I have planned, but nobody knows about. But if you're watching this, I guess you know about it now. But yeah,
Okay, no, that's cool, man. And I mean, you're also like in another group called like Unfocused like Visions too. So
yeah.
tell me more about that.
I'm in three groups. I'm in Unfocused Vision, NSR, and FTO. Unfocused Vision is really just me, Lil Grayski, and my friend Young Kaplan, because it's us three. Like we all love music, but I'm a part of this other group called FTO. There's like multiple members. There's like 14 of us. We all just love creating music. Like I see, I'm wearing a hat even.
Okay.
We just love creating music, and we all support each other. Like we be doing shows and stuff. But yeah,
Okay. Like when you talked about like Young Kaplan too, like I know like there was like a name that like kind of like ring from that too, co-signed by like the whole like BFR movement, like
yeah.
Pressa, YG, and
hmm
all that too. So how did you feel about his like situation, like when he got like shot and all that?
Oh, I was mad, bro. I was so mad. They called me and they were like, "Yo, da 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 da." Kaplan got shot. I was cussing I was like screaming. I was actually like, and I was at work too. They told me to come pull up at the hospital, but I couldn't even make it. I was so far and I was so mad. But I seen him this summer before he went to school. But I made sure like he was good and stuff.
Yeah. So I guess like even with the whole like BFR movement, like seeing him get like co-signed by like those people and all that too. So how did you feel like when he received like that big co-sign from them?
And I feel good. Kaplan's young, but he's doing his stuff. That's what I like from him, to be honest. He's so young. He's like 16 now, and I'm 19. I'm like 3 years older than him.
Okay.
So it's like seeing him do this stuff at like a young age. It's like it inspires me, to be honest, because it inspires me. Like if he could do it, I could do it too.
Okay.
Feel me?
Yeah, that's facts. And how do you even like to even like speak more like on the youth, like making like a rise and like the scene and all that? Like how do you even feel like, like a lot of like these like young kids, like 16, 17, 18, 19, like 20, like making waves, like especially like someone your age and all that too. Do you feel like it's something that's like needed for the culture too? Or do you feel like
It is needed. Like go if you could do it, go for it. Like just because you're young, don't mean don't do it, bro. Like you might get judged by the old heads, but that's what they do. Like it's not their generation. Like if you like doing what you're doing, I think you should do it, to be honest. If you enjoy it, if it makes you happy. Like I see a lot of young people popping up too. Like even American rappers, like Baby Chief.
I think so, yeah.
Yo, just keep doing what you're doing, to be
Yeah.
honest.
And I mean, with Tyler, like I know like he's like doing
Yeah.
this like thing too. Star Bands, who's like I think like 16, 17, like is like making waves too. Sugar Hill, like D Dot, like those people.
Yeah.
And I mean, even I don't know if he's like very young, but like Dave Blunts and all that too. Like I know like he's like kind of like making his wave too, like just like at his age and all that. And like
Yeah.
I mean Jade's, which is like kind of like a weird situation
That's
right now.
unfortunate,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. But he was like I think like what 18, like making waves and all that too. I mean, not Ian. I was like trying to think. I know Mabu. Like I know like he turned 18 or 19 sometime a year or two ago too. Like I know like he was like kind of making waves. But yeah, like I do see like a lot of like young people like making like waves like in that scene too, and it is like amazing to see and all that. So. And to even speak more like on the whole like Toronto Canadian like music scene, like how do you feel about it at the moment? Do you feel like there should be some changes in the direction of where the scene should go to, or do you feel like it's fine the way it is?
I don't think there should be no changes. I think like every music sounds different to every person's ear. Like not everybody likes the same thing. I think that's why it's called like communities and fan bases and stuff, right? Like who's a famous Toronto rapper? Like Sav. You know Sav.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Sav. I think his music is good. I really like his music. But I know there's people in Toronto that probably doesn't like his music because it's not for them. I think his music's good. So yeah, I don't think there should be changes. Like I think it should keep it like even. Like I think so.
Okay. No, that's facts. I mean, Toronto, it is at a very interesting part like right now too, because I know like there is like a lot of like up and coming talent that's like making waves too, and like I mean there is like a whole like pushback like even with the whole like Toronto slang and like how
Yeah.
people are incorporating it too. But like I feel like there's a good and a bad like either way too. That's like for every city, like the Atlantas, the Miamis, the LA's. Like it just depends on the time and all that too. Like even Kendrick with the whole like GNX project, which he had like a lot of like West Coast rappers. It's interesting to see too. And to even play like the devil's like advocate on that, do you think Drake should have like a project with strictly like Toronto artists on that, or?
I feel like knowing how America is, if Drake did that, they're gonna clown us. They're gonna clown the accent. They're gonna clown everything. But I don't really, to be honest, that's a good question. I don't even know if you should do that, to be honest. Just because it's Kendrick, I don't think you should do that, Drake.
Yeah.
Nah.
But I do see him like I do see him like actually put on like some Toronto artists on like
Yeah.
for that project too. I know he would like try to do like Smiley, Pressa, maybe YG, and then I know he's like very tapped in with like the R&B and all that too. So he'll put like a Dylan Sinclair, he'll put like a Raheem, a Chantel May, and all that too. Even a Division, Party Next Door. Like I know Drake and Party are gonna drop like their projects soon and all that too. So it'll like definitely like be interesting too.
Yeah.
But I think even with Kendrick, I think it just kind of sets the bar high on like if like regional music can like make a wave and all that too, whether it's like the younger artists or like even like the artists like in the game right now and all that too that are like 30, 40, still doing their thing and all that. So yeah. And this is like a question that I didn't really put up, but like I want to add on because you talked about having like social like anxiety and all that too. So
Yeah.
how was that experience like, even dealing with a situation like that, and like how do you like deal with your like mental health and all that?
Mentally, I would say I'm okay. How do I deal with it? Honestly, I just do what I do. I don't know how to explain that, but honestly, I just do me. Like I do what makes me happy, to be honest. Like music makes me happy. That's how like if I'm me, I have social anxiety, right? So if I'm performing, I'm doing music, like I'm enjoying it. So it makes me calm at the same time. Like when I go to perform every show, I've been performing for like a year now, right? I still get that nerves, but as soon as I get on stage, it's like it's gone because I'm doing what I love to do, right? So yeah, that's how I deal with that.
Okay. Oh, that's facts. And I mean, we just have a couple questions like actually like left right here. So like usually like I have a playlist that I'm gonna be updating like maybe sometime tomorrow or sometime in the next coming week too, where we showcase like different artists from like all walks of life too, whether they've been on the podcast, I've interviewed them on another area, or if it's just like something that I want to like host and all that too. So like let's say if a kid from Rexdale or a kid from Oshawa wants to like tap in like with music and all that too, like whether they're just like just kind of like you or someone that's trying to find themselves and all that too through music, like name 3 songs like in your catalog that you would like recommend for that person, or just for anybody that hasn't heard about you before, or that would like to know more about you, like in that sense.
Oh, name 3 of my songs?
Yeah.
First one, Bang About It. Second one, Silence. The third one is Crazy because I don't know if I should do Get 'Em because I have 2 crazy songs. Yeah, I'm gonna say Get 'Em. If you really like the genre that I'm on, those 3 songs would be the best.
Okay. And I know like we're just at the end of the year and all that too. We're about to like reach like December, like, and then it'll be like kind of like 2025 and all that too. But like, what do you have going on for like the end of the year and like starting for like 2025 in terms of like music, other projects, and so forth? And do you have any like closing remarks you'd like to say?
End of the year, I have nothing planned for the end of the year. Like I just finished wrapping up all my shows. Like I just performed like last week. But all I can say is January, just be prepared for a rollout, bro. Cause I'm not gonna stop. Like every day, you guys are gonna see my face. Just prepare for a rollout, to be honest.
Okay, and they could follow you like on all like social media platforms.
Yeah,
right?
all platforms. de534n everywhere.
All right, sounds good. And Deshaun, it was dope having you on, man. Like to
Nice to meet
speak
you,
more on
man.
your story, everything else too. Like it is like a very dope connection to get to know more about you, get to know more about your music too, and like wish like nothing but the best in all that you know. So
Yeah, you too. Nice to meet you. You're actually a cool dude, bro.
yeah, man. No, like I try my best to get to know people, like even like in the first introduction to, and then like hopefully it goes further, like whether in like some lifetime either way, and like I think that's like something that's like very important for potting too, just to kind of like end it off too, because even when you're interviewing someone or like you're having like these like discussions too, you get to know like the groundworks on like what people like, what people don't like, how to formulate like a conversation well, and I think it is like definitely like needed too, and like I hope to see like more of these like in the future and all that too with
Yeah.
you, like whether it's through like different platforms and such like that too. So
Appreciate that.
yeah, man. And this is Josh, also known as Yashu, another episode of TLOY Talks with one of the rising acts in the game, Deshaun. You can check out his like music on all platforms, Spotify, Apple Music. You can check out the podcasts on all platforms and even with the interviews, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Buzzsprout, Patreon, much more and all that too. Like definitely check out Chris's event on December 14th with Mayor's Office, tickets in the bio and all that. Like December 14th, like definitely like check it out and all that too. And just like check out like a lot of events, like whether like Deshaun's performing at or whether like someone's like performing at the show and all that too for Ticketmaster, for some other stuff too. But yeah, we're definitely gonna sign off. This is another episode of TLOY Talks with Josh, also known as Yashu, with Deshaun, signing off.
Yeah.